So hello everyone. We are back. There was a delay. I forgot to put delay on, but delay is on now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think Saku or Totino's need to worry about Saku seeing his whole hand because he's about to show him. And coin prep boat, very strong start.
Yeah, for sure.
Double predation's a little bit of an unfortunate pickup here with no Naga to activate them, but once that happens, Saku is going to be in a good spot. I think
Agreed.
here we'll see the Vanguard and the attack just to maximize stats on board.
Mhm.
And yeah,
I like
Totino's
this.
yeah. Totino's will have a little bit of a bigger presence coming in here with the Knoll, but maybe there is still an up for Saku.
For sure. Kurtrus is something that'll definitely be a really good card to have later on. It is just gonna depend on getting to that point.
Wow.
There's the Naga. That's a very big pickup. It allows Saku to actually just go ahead and play the Slither Spear and
Yeah.
be able to kill off both of at least two of these three attack minions. He could clear the whole board with doing that plus a hero power and even getting to play out his Metamorphin as a 3/4.
Yes. And for
He's
Saku, though, another key is the Spectral Sight is now in the outcast position
yes,
with this setup.
agreed.
So
Yeah,
just a great way to spend all of his mana and really accelerate toward Kurtrus.
agreed. Yeah. So let's see if he goes for, because he can play the Spectral Sight whenever, because that's on the far. That would be on his left instead of his. Or that was on his right instead of his left, so it was never going out of Outcast. Very good draws from there. A Bone Glaive pickup plus the Jace for later. He's going to opt to remove. The minion has a 3/4 left on board, and it's kind of shifting momentum a little bit at least. The Wicked Stab will only deal 2 damage until next turn. I personally would expect to see Tooth of Nefarian to kill the Slither Spear to discover a spell.
And Fire Sale is a good one.
Fire Sale, I think, is nice for sure. You can trade it if you like. You can hold it to play at another time. So I would suspect it'd be Fire Sale, but maybe he goes for something else. There's no hover. We can't see what he's hovering. We'll only get to see when he picks. He picks Clash of the Colossals.
Yeah,
which is quite a beefy
I don't know.
card.
Yeah, if there were thief tools in the deck, I'd be a bit more excited about that. And
Yeah,
Saku rips the Spectral Sight.
that's
Uh,
fantastic.
being honest here, I feel like when you have the Bone Glaive on 5,
You should play the Bone Glaive on
you
5.
get your Pyroblast going, but
Yeah,
this works out. Kurtrus is still available, still getting procs.
he's
Fell
getting
spells are getting set up for Jace.
Yeah.
Like, in spite of the turn 2 boat, this game's suddenly looking very difficult for Totino's.
I would agree. The Wicked Stab plus the Fillet Fighter will clear. Basaku has a really nice answer in return, even with his Maestro being played just solo. Obviously, just to curve out with mana. The Kurtrus here is the only
Incredible.
play. The only play that I could see out of this. Demon Hunter now has, 6/1s on the board that are gonna have to be dealt with by the face, and
maybe this Shroud of Concealment can find an answer.
I think Shroud will be a good find here. If we get there's one answer, and the other one is not quite there, so probably still gonna have to take 6 damage to remove the 6/1, but this 3/1 gets stealth.
Well, Shadow Step here also does allow
You're right. Shadow Step
for
does allow
saving
for
some
it.
health. And Totino's might have to play out that line.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely, if he really, I guess if he really wanted to hold that, he could have waited to play it with Edwin, which we see in hand. But I think you're right. That was the best line. It saves health, for sure.
Ooh,
Is that Jalag? Jalag off the top. I think that's
That's pretty good. I don't think it gets any better
I don't
than
think
that.
there's much better to play. You're right.
Wow.
So Saku has cleared the 3-1, which is very good. There's a Shadow Step, and that won't do a lot to help him. This Colossal is gonna have to be good, I think.
I don't think there is a Colossal here that gets Totino's out of the jam.
All right, so we're gonna go for Edwin, which draws draws Krakatoa.
And I think that's game here with the hero
I think so as well, because he gave Blackwater Behemoth over to Saku, who can actually just straight up play that next turn.
Now it's lethal on board.
It is lethal on board, yeah, so there we go. You're right, because these will do 3 damage.
Yep.
Yeah, so Saku can just attack and end the turn, but he will play out his Bone Glaive. And he will probably just do it out with attacks instead of letting the hero power... or instead of just letting the Zilog actually get the win. But, you know, well played. Saku goes up 1-0 here in this game 1.
Yep. And that Demon Hunter punches right through. In matchup that tends to, I think, you know, go Rogue's way when they have 6-6 on 2. So, big win there for Saku.
Agreed.
All right, so
DH gets through.
I think, too, for Saku, that's one of the decks you're expecting to win with into Demon Hunter, Mage, and Rogue. So,
yeah.
No, not too many surprises there, but we'll see how Totino's chooses to bring it back against Saku's next class. And
all right, we have classes queued up already. There is an option where he will just bring out the Rogue again.
Yep.
All right.
And
not
sure. Boy. All right, Totino's, you got to win on this hand.
Okay, so this is the Rogue Mirror.
Yes.
This is a massive hand for Totino. Saku, we can see he's running the Jackpot Rogue versus the Boat Rogue.
Yeah. I mean, Saku, the Jackpot Rogue is favored, I believe, in this matchup because, you know, the Jackpot nonsense is good.
Yeah, but this is a really good hand for Totino's.
Yes. And this hand could get really good for Saku quickly, too. Agreed, so we'll see, but oof. We'll see if those Knolls are all coming down next turn.
For sure. I would think almost no hesitation you just trade this. You just trade this Cutlass in. I mean, obviously he might, for one reason or the other, if not, I've just been doing something else on the side because we don't have the player cams up. But
interesting. Starfish on Saku's side seems like it might be a hedge against mech strategies. Interesting.
I guess so.
Elec Mount and Chaos Nova. Those are both excellent.
Yes, Elec Mount is so good, and Chaos Nova will clear boat boards. Won't clear the Knolls, but it'll clear boats.
I think that was an interesting spot for Saku to opt for the Jackpot over the Reconnaissance, just because one of them is a little bit more high tempo without the Nolan hand.
Yeah. Okay, I would suspect that we're gonna see the Reconnaissance here. I would guess. Although they're we see Reconnaissance, Bottom Feeder, Spawn Pool, Felsel.
Bottom Feeder is great.
Yeah, Bottom Feeder's not bad. You're right.
It's actually interesting too to take. I think the Felsel might be the best choice, but Bottom Feeder with a Gone Fishing in hand is pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's funny as well because he's gonna actually opt for it. So he'll be able to fit. He'll be able to get a 3/5 after this is removed, and these we're gonna see both the Knolls come down this turn. Very likely.
Well, Knolls and Boat.
Oh,
I think
boats are also
good.
Pretty good. He can Wait.
I don't like this line at all. I see that you're trying to discount the Knolls to 0, but forgoing the Boat stats is very ambitious. I would have all tempo now.
I would have preferred to see the boats right away, and then you don't worry about you just worry about the Knolls getting there eventually. But this is, I mean, obviously a lot of huge tempo. For Totino's. But we don't. But he could have had. I guess just getting all the bolts out and maybe just one. I think that still gets you one null. Maybe not.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It doesn't doing it that other way. You
Gotcha.
don't get the nulls. But the issue here with this is that after the jackpot, you're really playing into the Naga plus a huge spell that could blow back this
Yeah,
board.
it's definitely fortunate for Totino's that there is no Swift Scale Trickster for Saku. Um,
Yes. And I think from Saku here, I would have liked to have seen the Starfish in the Tooth to try to mitigate some of this damage, get on board. But this
yeah.
also works out. Can maybe.
Well, Condemn is a pretty good card, but it might look for maybe Tiny Toy. I don't know. I think Condemn is just pretty solid. It deals it deals 2 to all minions next in a couple of turns on top of like or next turn, considering the fact that we've got Chaos Nova as well. But we'll
I
see.
think Tiny Toys with the Starfish in hand makes it just go a little bit better in my book.
Gotcha.
Because
Does
you can.
Starfish make the Tiny Toys go back to full size?
That it does.
Ah, that is why. I like that. Okay. So
All right.
Play Fighter will come down.
Okay.
This is
And
a full board clear. I know that he's taking a lot of damage.
it'll be
But
down to 13, which is
yeah, that's a
well in
lot.
that danger zone.
Yeah, especially when we're getting in towards Wicked Stabs, doing 4 damage. So he'll have to opt. He'll have to see. He does have a preparation can save the health. If he preps out the Chaos Nova, then he can play like Tooth of Nefarian and Gone Fishing.
Yeah.
Which
I think though with Rogue's Burst, you have to try to go for a win in some way.
yeah,
So I like using Chaos Nova and the dagger here, and then trying to find a prep setup next turn.
yeah, that's good.
'Cause it's also possible to discover healing with this deck as well.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that this Elec mount can stick. That's pretty game winning.
Yes, for sure.
So
I don't think there's a way to get the Elec mount out this turn with the bottom feeder. Unless you get second prep.
well, yeah.
But we're setting up for a smite for almost a smite lethal in
Yes.
2 turns. But we're gonna go for a prep play here, potentially. We do see blood in the water drawn. That does not heal.
Yeah.
Prepping out the tiny toys.
Maybe a rusher here to
Finds
save
a rusher,
him.
finds Darius Crowley.
That's enough. Can choose instead opt to Gone Fishing here for the
Bottom feeder.
yeah.
Potentially,
The
yeah.
the Tarantula is also pretty annoying here for
It
Totino's.
will be, yeah.
But there's got to be healing at some point. I think that that's the only thing now because they can. There's the lethal setup here with
yeah.
Tooth of Nefarian and Krakatoa.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wait, no, it's not enough. It's
No.
still only. Well, it is. It is. It puts him to 1. But then there's the Elec mount.
Yeah, so Elec Mount might get Elec Mount will be able to get played on the Tiger, because the Tiger is stealthed.
Yep.
But we're gonna see these poisonous, so maybe we can just stick it on a poisonous minion, and that'd be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, I don't think that the size of the minions really what matters here.
No,
though.
what matters is being able to essentially just stick the Elec Mount minion and hopefully not take. And healing is going to be very necessary. I don't know exactly how you find it from here. I guess you'd have to Tooth of Nefarian something.
Well, if Totino's never finds the Wicked Stab or the second Tooth,
yeah,
then Saku is just fine.
Exactly,
Saku will.
Yeah.
It's probably a 2-turn clock, and there's Scabs.
Scabs is next turn.
Scabs does set up lethal now because
yeah, for sure. He's gonna play Tooth to the face, which is fine.
I think I would have liked Smite Shadow Step, but oh wait a minute.
Wait.
Is there any out here?
I don't know. Is there? Because
I'd like to see a shroud first, maybe.
yeah, maybe I don't really know.
Well, Saku is not going to play around scabs, which I think is fair. I mean, if
Sure,
they have it, they have it.
yeah, and that's. I mean, we see that there is scabs, which means that there um will be likely lethal. Yeah, bottom feet. He takes Krakatoa for next turn,
Yep.
but we obviously can see the scabs, which
Yeah.
ensures that Totino's will take game 2 here. So all he has to do is play it and attack face. So we got a we got a pretty close series here. That means that
Yep.
F2L White will survive to the next match, even if Saku wins out.
So I think it's interesting now because we see the jackpot rogue on Saku's side. So might have been the expectation of the boat rogue and maybe some slower decks on Totinos' part of the field.
Yeah, definitely
Let's
that could be the case. Oh man, they are firing fast and furious to get their decks out and played.
yes, and Saku is on the big spell mage here.
So this is both players playing their non-rogues.
Yes.
This is Demon Hunter from Totino's, and it is Mage from Saku.
And I think Saku has the cards you want to have in this matchup.
Me too. I think so too.
But it is a good one for the Demon Hunter. So Totino's is likely going to start getting in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Goes for the Fell Barrage.
Well, there's no armor or anything like that. It's not necessarily too bad. I suspect we'll just see Amplified Snow Flurry here, and he will opt to... I don't know if I would have hero powered exactly this turn, but it does make some modicum of sense if you suspect there's Rustworn Vanguard.
No, it shuts down both 2-drops plus hero power.
Yeah,
and
for
shuts
sure.
down the Dread Prison Glaive. I think it's pretty heads up from Saku, especially when
I
you
like
have
it.
the second. It's a nice play.
Yeah, I like it as well. You know, and he has he has a 4-drop, which should draw him a pretty good spell likely. So I suspect that this is gonna be very good for the mage.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
Treasure Guard is just humongous here.
Definitely.
Saku is going to go for the Deepwater Evoker, which isn't a play that I love. It is tempo. You get to spend your mana, but having that coin to play one of your scammy 6-drops and get going is just so useful that
I agree.
it seems tough to justify the line. But 9 armor, 3/4, draw a card, pretty good.
Predation being played out from Totino's. They're gonna remove out the Amplified Snow Flurry when they would have had the ability to actually get rid of the Deepwater Evoker if they did that with attack to the minion, but opts just to remove the 2/3 instead. I don't hate it.
Yeah, and I think Saku's got a nice setup here. I don't like this Dancer, but I think hero power followed by amplified Snow Flurry
that's so strong.
Is very nice for taking back the board and then just being set for next turn.
Yeah. I suspect that Saku's gonna remove out the 2/1 and the 3/2 here with this line.
Interesting. I like this too.
This is fine.
This is probably the best way to do it if you're going to play Mailbox Dancer. Also, the Starfish would have been pretty...
he just went for the coin. He just coined out, and I think he...
Coin hero power. It's a power play.
It is a power play. It's definitely a power play. Ooh, Steno. A very kind of early Steno, but I don't hate it. Obviously, because we're going to see the coin. So we're going to see coin... pointing out the 2-drop and then playing the flurry.
No, just pushing more damage here. makes sense, but once again, I think that on Totino's side, I would have liked seeing that coin saved for Zalag,
I agree.
just because getting that down a turn ahead of schedule
Mhm.
is so powerful.
Yeah, and we're just gonna see we're just gonna see the smothering starfish here to remove the Steno's ability, and probably just you can just play the snow flurry here and then kill off the 2-1, or you can just hero power regularly. It's either way, I think it's fine. If you want to play out the body, it's getting the 2/3 body with the hero power is pretty good. You might want to do it for next turn potentially if he suspects Jolog on 7.
Yeah.
Like to be able to have the body out for Zalog. But
I think we'll probably just see the Okani next turn.
yeah, Okani is a really good play from Zaku here as well, and then he can also get the Snow Flurry.
And Totino's, I think, recognizes that if they have it, they have it, and the damage has to go to the face at this point.
Yeah, for sure. That's good recognition. Saku's gonna, he's gonna play Reckless Apprentice over the Okani. Which you can play Okani for a minion counter because you're getting to later in the game where Okani is just so clutch against the minions that we're gonna see.
Yes, and with the card being held back too, I think Saku probably should have an inkling that it is a card like Jace or Okani or Jace or Zalag that can't come down this turn. So now Saku's in a bit of trouble. No way to remove this.
Yeah.
I think that might be the game.
I agree as well. I don't know what else. He can't play out. He can't get to the runes of the Archmage, and from here there's really no removal of Jalog. So I think that this will just end up. Probably you probably just have to like essentially try and freeze Jalog and make it so he can't attack, but you can just take 4 damage plus whatever you have there. Yeah, try and get as much damage down.
Right.
In the way of this next thing. Maybe you can Okani in case you don't want to. Maybe you can Okani for minion counter on Jace, and hope just say if they have Jace, then this is like really good.
I think I would like to see probably the Snow Flurry in the
post.
Yeah, but
yeah.
This is now a lot harder for Saku. Almost impossible. And then you need to send the 3-1 into one of those 1/2s to take away a ping.
Yeah.
Develop the post. Mm-hmm. And Saku opts for this line, but
yeah, gonna be
now
tougher.
Those stalks are more powerful.
Mm-hmm. The stalks now do 3 damage. That is a predation draw. So we can just use predation to remove out something here. He could potentially go face with it, but just removing out a minion is almost the same because it's almost like the same amount of damage you're taking away because these stalks get to do so much damage.
Yeah,
I think Saku draws Breakfire.
Did they remove the Snow Flurry though? They do.
Yeah, they removed all the minions. Jalog stands by himself here. There's no spells that have been played that are enough. We were 1 turn off of Runes of the Archmage, but he'll be able to ping down this stalk. But these stalks are going to do 4. There's just essentially there's just lethal on board. He should trade his Drakefire amulet to look for something.
Agreed.
Potentially. Honestly, I would have almost left the one damage minion up in case of and tried to trade and look for a potential spammy in the deck. Because if there's a spammy in the deck, then he's able to remove the stalks completely, and that just saves so much damage. And he'll be able to get to Archmage at that point. So
and with
he
two
gets
cards.
Slither Sphere for 0.
Oh, that's a good one.
Purchase Demon Render. That should be game. Right?
Yeah, it should be. I think that as long as
he just attacks the one minion
Totino's trades correctly and uses the hero power at the right times, that's it.
He had it anyways because the stalks deal 4 damage.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So maybe I miscalculated the damage, but
No, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's lethal. It's
Mhm.
super lethal.
Yeah. So Totino's taking game 3 with the Demon Hunter.
Yep. And just like that, Totino's has reversed it.
Yeah.
2-1 now.
It's just his mage left to win, while Saku has to win with Big Spell Mage and Jackpot Rogue. So let's see what Saku opts to come out with.
Statistically, this is the big spell mage. Oh, and there was a spammy in the deck, so
Yeah.
I think here we'll probably see both players
It's a mirror.
It is.
And Saku, one thing I will know is that Saku does have the Varden in his deck.
Yes, which is
can generally
makes sense.
Pretty good. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the list is. I don't know if that's something that's pretty common between the two lists or between all the lists. Whether Varden's just auto include or not, or if it's more of a tech. The little Varden, not obviously not Magister Dawngrass, but yeah.
Yeah. While Saku wants to get his value here and remove this Pelican Diver the old-fashioned way, so holds back.
All right, 2-3 on the board. I would guess that we'll see maybe Saku's Snow Flurry, maybe Saku's own amplified Snow Flurry, or he could just opt to ping here.
Yep, I think Saku has decided that I think he's going to play a control game, which I think is going to be a little tricky here with turn 5 Belinda on Totino's side.
Agreed, yeah. And because Saku doesn't have the coin, he's kind of behind on that front.
Yeah.
I think Judge Guard
good
is
turn
good.
4. Yeah. And I think that this is going to get out of control very quickly if this Belinda picks up a single Drakefire.
Yeah,
we're going to see Dragon every turn from Totino's.
Yeah. And it's likely that there is one, because there's, I think it's one's guaranteed for sure, because the Ruins was picked up by Evoker.
All right, a little bit an odd choice there from Saku. I figured he might save that hero power for Belinda.
Yeah, for a potential Belinda on 5. Yeah, he freezes the minion, then opts to trade into the minion he froze, which is something you should just not do much. I mean, the second Pelican Diver is on the board, which will help mitigate some of the damage from Belinda here. But we can note that Totino's has been saving this this hero power that freezes for something, and maybe he's saving it for Belinda next turn from Saku.
Yes.
So we'll see. I will note that we can get through this Treasure Guard if we wanted to give Belinda a chance to attack face next turn. But instead, we're going to opt to freeze the 2/2, which I don't hate.
Yep.
But it now kind of almost gives Saku a good chance here. He draws Ruins, so he doesn't draw a Drakefire Amulet.
Right, and in this situation, I think if you're Saku, you're probably a little bit happier to see Rune.
Yeah, I agree. He can use Ruins to kind of scam.
Right. And I don't like that trade there. I think I would rather have seen that go into the 2/2.
Yeah.
But now it's dragon time.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh,
there's a 12/12. And there's
Calicos is also an excellent here, and I want to see that. Save that for next turn to threaten a 0-mana spell unless Saku removes it.
He opts for the 4/8. He wants to protect something. Barbaric Sorceress does really not that much.
Pretty confusing line, but we get to see the Rune of the Archmage at least, right?
Yeah, we'll see how this Ruins plays out for Saku, because I think he needs to play one here. His pickup is Mailbox Dancer.
Yeah, it doesn't accomplish much. I think you just rip the Rune and pray.
I agree. There's no reason to really trade much because if you can remove this board, then he can just go 11 damage face, and he's sitting pretty nicely.
Yeah.
So I always think I like to resolve random effects first. General sometimes I don't know.
Well,
But here we
especially
go.
with Rune targeting enemies,
Yeah,
it's a good idea to just rip it.
for sure.
Snap freeze, nice.
Freezes the 2/2, unfortunately.
Brilliance gets a Drake Fire. Okay.
Hot streak. Deep breath. Nice.
Cone of Cold hits it all, so
Cone
safe
of
for a
Cold hits
turn.
it all, safe for a turn. Counter spell is very nice. It will remove runes potentially. Wow, that's not too bad. Wildfire's
That's
actually kind of nice.
That's great. I think with the counter spell, you want to hold Dancer for sure.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I don't...
Saku! Don't you dare!
Okay, yeah, he's just gonna ping. Nice.
Yep, and then start pushing that damage. All right, it's looking good now, but more dragons are going to be coming Saku's way.
Because of Grey Sage Parrot.
Yep, or Dawn Grasp,
Yeah,
which
Dawn Grasp.
I think I would have probably opted for.
Yeah. Okay, so kind of low rolls with the 2/3, getting the Amalgam of the Deep instead of getting bigger dragons. Does get another 12/12, obviously, so that's a huge pickup. From Saku's side, he could just also now play a Parrot because it's going to have Ruins, not Drake Fire, which I like.
Good play.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Explosive Runes. Gifts of Ashara. 15 left. Oh, 12 left. Wait.
Fireball.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Volcanomancy. Oh, no. That's such a bad minion to hit for it.
Bone of Cold.
He can't.
He gets the big Deathwing. Okay, and then he can... No, Saku, don't do it. Please. No, he could have cleared. And now there's an out here.
What is the out?
So... If Totinos can grab the coin from this Mailbox Dancer, then the counterspell can just get popped.
Oh, he's gonna Volcanomancy actually.
So Saku could have traded the 2/2 into the 4/5 or used the hero power on it, and then sent both minions in to clear the whole board.
So now he just tests and it doesn't do that, and now.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, granted, the explosive ruins is gonna be something. He's now testing for Ice Block. He'll play Parrot for more dragons, and that will get removed by the nice big dragons, but we do get to see explosive runes played out here to kill off the 4/5. Mailbox Dancer from... I don't really like Mailbox from either player here. I wonder if you want to trade. Did he already attack face? I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
7/2.
Okay, so
now it's a 7/2.
Now it's runing time once again.
Yeah. I don't know if I like playing Parrot or if I like playing the actual runes of the Archmage. Because I
think you have to go actual rune with the Apprentice.
I think because you want to play Drakefire and then have the other one become a Drakefire is what I like. He's now sitting at 10 cards in hand, so any draws will mill. That's a good hit. Arcane Brilliance doesn't do anything. Polymorph Jellyfish hits the 7/2. Unfortunately, not the 12/12, but the Snap Freeze kills the 12/8.
Yep.
So Saku will, if he opts to play the Deepwater Evoker, he's milling. But I don't want him to trade that away because there's no other Drakefire in his hand.
Reckless Apprentice is a good play here too to clear off
for sure.
the 4/1 and the 5/5.
5/5. Yeah, he opts for the Evoker, which means that he'll mill a card, but I don't know if he cares about milling as much right now. He's not super concerned with a lot of things right now. Mailbox Dancer coming out here will allow for coining something. The coin, I would have... Oh, testing Counterspell. Yep. Magister Dawngrasp, I would suspect, or runes here, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit risky here from Totinos. This one could backfire.
Yeah.
Iceblood Tower. I don't know if that even does anything.
It doesn't do anything, I'm pretty sure. It might cast a ruins out of his deck, if anything, and that wouldn't be terrible.
Well,
but
he has the other one in his hand, right? I think he's drawn every spell.
Okay, cool. So that does nothing. So that's 10 mana, and that doesn't do anything. Snap Freeze freezes the 3/2, and this is a very back and forth and interesting game. I will say that. I don't really like playing a whole lot of anything here. I'm not even sure I would have seafloored there. I might have just played, I might have just played something else. Now Saku gets to make dragons of his own. I'm not sure if that's
I
he
think
needs
that's pretty
taunt.
risky.
He needs taunt
Yeah.
here, right? I think he.
Taunt or rush. If it's none of those, then he can't win. Yeah, Saku loses.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a wrap.
yeah. That was a very risky play. I think I maybe would have wanted to maybe. I think there maybe you had to play ruins and just hope. But
Well, I mean, you have Parrot, you have lots of options that can
yeah, for
clear.
sure. He had
Even
even just
spammy stops lethal.
yeah, spammy. You had reckless apprentice to clear off the 6-2. But instead, Totino's takes the 3-1 dub for F2L White,
Yeah, and
and
just
now
like that,
now it's a
we have
series.
that it is, and
So
we'll see if the F2L curse can be broken.
yeah, for sure. It's still very close. I think almost any type of victory for STD will give them massive advantage from here because they'll have 3 wins on the week, which doesn't another 3-2 doesn't guarantee it, but we'll see. Um, so yeah, I will message Totino's for an interview if he's available. But yeah, I think this was overall a super interesting series. Now I believe the current score is 9 to. It's now 9-8.
Yeah, it's very narrow and tight gap. Well,
Yeah.
just
Um.
almost as close as it can get.
Yeah, and this is. I mean, it's a best of two. Like at this point now, like the last 2 matches being played on stream, it's definitely gonna be sitting at a. I'll just ask in this chat then. All right, cool. So I will be adding Totino's into the call for for a quick interview. Um, for sure. All right, hello Totino's.
Hello.
Congratulations on the win.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So, how are you doing right now?
Feeling
Championship?
good.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Feeling definitely have been like proud of well, more than anything finding the decks and actually just sticking with them. I think that's been like my hardest challenge
Gotcha.
ever playing Hearthstone is just just sticking with decks and no matter how many times I hear the advice of just getting good with a deck, it's just I always love the deck hop and just try new things.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So
For
actually
sure.
sticking with I think it's just showed in my performance, sticking with the deck, learning the ins and outs, learning what to go for, learning for edge case scenarios.
Yeah. For
Feels
sure.
good.
Right. So, looking at the lineups, I think that, both of us were a little bit surprised to see the Hunter ban on your side. So, when you were sort of approaching this matchup, what was your thought on taking the Hunter out of the equation?
So I figured that with the hunter, it especially against things like mage, that's kind of what they were going for. Is kind of to beat up on my mage. And I figured Paladin would have been banned because that was pretty much the only deck that would want to leave the Hunter up in that scenario. I feel
Mm.
especially if it's Quest Hunter or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was feeling, and so I just kind of went with figuring okay, if my Paladin's going to be gone, I'm not really going to have too much good stuff into Hunter, and that
Yeah.
I felt a lot more. And Hunter's also a more recent deck, so I've had less time to play against that deck.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So it just takes it out of the equation where it's I don't have to deal with uncomfortable scenarios.
Absolutely. It makes
Absolutely.
sense to stick with what you know.
And I just yeah, I've played against those the other decks that I figured were going to come up have been THL staples for a couple of weeks, so
Mm.
Yeah.
had a good bit of practice against them in a conquest format.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at it, I think were there any moments that stood out to you? I know for us both, like we were kind of knew you would be happy when you saw, turn two boat and double null in your hands in those first couple games. Like, were there other moments where you were just like, yes, this is it. This is my time.
Uh, yeah, so the double null boat, like it was I just had so many options. Like it was like, okay, do I want to get double null on the field? Do I want to get a bunch of 3/3s with stealth on the field? So I just had all of the pickings. Probably the big moment that I felt was like the turning point was the Demon Hunter game
Yeah.
where I was like I just was just trying to keep the spells in my hand, and I was running low on stuff. I I threw away the sigil on turn 1 just because I was looking for like slither scales and other early game stuff because I just knew I wanted to get the mage down and as quickly as possible because the longer I let them go, the more likely they can just scam me out of the game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just started running dry on stuff, so it was just I just windmill slammed Ziglag, left the 1 mana spell in my hand. I'm just like, "All right, don't have Barbara, and we are good." And then
Hmm.
they struggled to clear up the Ziglag, so I was just like, "Okay, this is where I can turn the corner. This is where I can
Yeah.
Yeah.
win this game now."
So I do have a little bit of a follow up for you.
Yeah.
So Saku did have the Okani in his hand, and he chose to go for the Reckless Apprentice instead. If you had the same sort of situation, but with Okani on the board instead, would you have ripped the Zillag anyway, or would you have just played the Sigil and, kind of deferred to it?
In that situation, I would have played the Sigil because I wouldn't, and I can't afford to just toss away Ziglag in that scenario,
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
and also I would be getting a cheap spell out of my hand for barbarian
Yeah.
Hmm.
stuff. So I would probably just go with that and then a hero power and just pray.
Hmm.
Sense.
And then in the final game, just getting non-stop dragons definitely wins
Yes.
games.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
And then poor Saku getting same secrets multiple times off multiple different runes, just letting me know exactly what secrets I needed to play around made that a lot easier than
Yeah. He
it needed to be for me.
did he. I don't know if he ever got the same secret. Did he?
He
Yeah,
did.
he
He got
got
Counterspell and Ice Barrier as duplicates.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they were duplicates, but I know because he got an explosive ruins, and then he also had the last one you didn't see was an Oasis ally because you won. Off you won before that could get triggered.
yeah. But yeah, the counterspell and was the big one where I knew like okay, I can't play my rune. And so I just waited until he played his mailbox, got the coin, was able to just
Yeah,
waste the coin that way.
for
But
sure.
yeah, knowing there was a counter spell up made that a lot
Yeah,
more likely, so I didn't waste a rune, so I
makes
could save
sense
that for whenever he tried to like counter swing
with a
with a
dragonborn.
Drake Fire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you got two more matches left. I think that you guys are now down only 9-8 from the other on the other side from Slot or Anfall. Is there how do you feel about their chances? You guys think you're going to take this home?
I think I think we have a strong shot at it. Slot and Amball have both been putting in great results this
Yeah.
season, and they've been very consistent in their play and just constantly just playing the game, getting better. So I figure I have a lot of faith in my teammates to seal this out for us.
Hmm.
Yeah. You guys got to get it done for us standard players. If Bread Likely and the standard THL degenerates, have both won, I don't know what that says about our league.
Well,
Yeah.
this SCE roster has been pretty close before. This SCE as a team has been in the finals before. Different roster besides Sheep, but overall, like Doc was still the captain. It was a much different roster. It's really fun to see teams that both of these teams. I don't think even F12 White was the exact same roster back then, but they both of these teams came up just short in the finals when they played. I think they both went to 5. So it's cool to see both of these teams now fighting each other for a championship. I'm very excited to see these results. we have both of the matches on stream later tonight. That's gonna be, I believe, myself and my Anodon on the cast with Saku opping. So it'll be first match is gonna be Onfall and Nighthawk, and then it'll be Memnarch versus Slod if necessary, which I think it should be. So I think pending a sweep from Vampire Nighthawk, I think that we'll see another match. I'm pretty sure.
I like that we've got someone from each team on the broadcast there. That's gonna make for something interesting.
Oh yeah.
Storylines.
For sure, yeah. I obviously we don't know the exact story of the first 2 matches because they were both played off stream, but I'm sure they were close. All the players involved in that are excellent players, so and this was another decently close match. A couple of things different here and there could have kept it a lot closer than the 3-1 result that we saw. Thank you Totinos and Saku for playing on stream. It was an absolute pleasure. And congrats to you Totinos on taking the dub. And
thank you so much.
For sure. And I think that's gonna do it for our final Sunday Schoolstone, one of our only Sunday Schoolstones of the entire season. So yeah, good luck to both teams remaining. We'll see how everything plays out on Sunday Showdown. Thank you to Dank's dad for casting with me. It is always a pleasure to get to do this with you.
Yeah, of course, and as with you, Dr. Fish, and hope you and my Andon have a good show tonight.
Thank you. I suspect it'll be a great show for the 2 of us, but that's gonna do it for this show. Have a fantastic rest of your afternoon, everyone. We will see you this evening. And until then, stay safe, everyone.